Welcome back to the group chat.
Nathan Marshall with the Crusaders. Yep. Scott Robinson. Yep. Scott Robinson.
Close. Rep straight off.
Conor McGregor, Israel Adesanya, John Jones, GSP, Anderson Silva.
Welcome back to the group chat for another episode. Phil joining us in studio once again. How's your weekend, mate?
It's Perth. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Overall, I'd say. Massive win from the Wires. Chiefs, 1 point loss. Still get to play in the semi-finals anyway. So, and some good UFC out and about. So yeah, pretty good overall.
Nice.
Can't complain. Portugal won on penalties. That was massive.
Ronaldo scored his first goal in a national final for his country.
Confirmed GOAT status if you're betting that Spanish team.
Yeah, very good Spanish side.
Yeah, it's good.
Well,
Plenty of sport.
Yeah, and plenty of good results for Kiwis as well. I went through and I found, obviously there's some big Super Rugby results, big result for the Wars, but there is, I wanted to do like the flying Kiwis. So Ryan Fox yesterday, unbelievable performance.
Yeah.
What did it take? 4 playoff holes to win at the RBC Canadian Open.
Yeah.
That first of all, that clutch putt on 18 just fell in to send it to a playoff, tied at 18 under with Sam Burns. Clutch. Run it back for 18. Let's play the fifth, the par 5, 18th. 3 times, same pin location, and let's get pars every single time.
Yep.
Cool. Sam Burns, low-key, missed not a gimme, but a makeable putt to win it in the first playoff hole. They then changed the pin. Did you see them change the pin? Did you watch the playoff holes?
Watched the last 2, I think.
So you saw them win?
Yeah.
So the pin was at the back left of the green, so neither players was really too keen on taking on the green, trying to get there in 2. Move the pin to the front right, and I was waiting for someone to take the risk and try take it on, because there's water in the front of the green. So if you miss, you're out, essentially. And the other guy can just lay up, knock it in for par. Thanks for coming. I was waiting for someone to take the risk, and Foxy was the first one to do so. As soon as that pin location changed, 3-wood comes out, and I think he said it in his post-match, but that's the sweetest golf shot he said he's ever hit.
Wow.
Unbelievable 3-wood, and it barely made a dent on the green. It just kissed off it, sat there next to the pin, probably, 5-6 feet away. An unbelievable golf shot. Sam Burns laid up, then had to chip on. Spin did him dirty. He actually spun off the green. Was lucky not to go on the water thanks to that rough.
Went rolling.
Oh, yeah.
That went rolling.
Yeah, and then the rough at the Canadian Open, known for how thick it is, kind of saved him from going in the water there. So he's still within a chance. Played a good chip shot on the green. Yeah. But, I mean, Foxy had it in the bag. He had a 5-6 putt for eagle. Just missed it. Tap it in for birdie. Thanks for coming. Sam Burns making a good par save, but Foxy secures a spot in the US Open, his second PGA Tour win in a month. Now ranked 31st or 32nd in the world. He is absolutely flying.
Great form.
Unbelievable from Foxy.
2 from 4.
2 from 4 starts.
Wow.
One of those starts being the PGA Championship as well. He'll tee off Thursday night for the US Open in Oakmont. That's going to be a hell of a battle. The rough out there looks insane. You got to hit that ball straight, otherwise you're going to be struggling. So that's going to be a fun watch. More Kiwis doing well. Ryan Wood, Supercars driver, 21-year-old, from Wellington actually.
Oh, really?
Won in Perth. The Perth 440 race 14. They did 2 races that day. He won the first race, his first Supercars win. So doing well over there. He was leading the second race as well until his back left or back right tyre just decided not to play ball, and he went off into the dirt and had to retire. So unfortunate there. All Whites, who were there cheering on Foxy, saw him come up the 18th 5 times. They were over in Canada. They beat the Ivory Coast 1-0.
Solid.
Elijah Just scoring the sole goal there. Massive for the team there. The coach came out and said, we've been drawn against these bigger sides, but we just have to get over that hump and win one. Now they've won one. Debatable whether Ivory Coast are a big side or not.
I think relatively. There are some players in the mix.
I think so. And I guess they're just building up their confidence.
Ukraine
to the World
tomorrow.
Cup. Ukraine tomorrow. Where's that being played? Toronto?
Canada
Somewhere in Canada.
Somewhere.
So if they can get up again, 2 from 2, that'd be genius from the All Whites. Chris Wood's raving about how good the squad is, how much fun he's having off the back of his 20-goal season. So they seem to be in good spirits in the All Whites camp. Dan Vittori announced to be inducted into the ICC Hall of Fame this morning.
Nice.
So well done, Daniel Vittori. 2 more. Ali Wollaston. Heard of that name?
Nope.
New Zealand star cyclist. She secured a victory on the final day of the Tour of Britain, and which means she won the whole thing. So unreal from her. I mean, not too many people would have known that, but victory on the final day to secure the overall event. Pretty impressive stuff.
Nice.
And then the Sail GP, the final was raced in New York. The Black Ferns had to settle for second behind Spain. They took a gamble around one of the turns and took a bit of a nosedive. So it didn't really pay off, but still second in the Sail GP.
Are they called the Black Ferns?
Apparently. Or the Black Foils, maybe. Something like that.
Black Ferns is our rugby team, I thought.
Yeah.
The women's rugby team.
Anyway, second for them.
Funny if it's the same name.
So that's the weekend of... We'll get into the, obviously, rugby league, like I said. You've got our group chat question of the week. We've got like it or love it, and then we'll finish off with our betting recap from the weekend. So, group chat question of the week, Phil. Let's get into it. What have you got for us?
Man, a lot of finals going on at the moment.
Plenty of finals.
Finals here, there, and everywhere. Something that's probably more prominent in the American side of things. 7-game series.
Yep.
We don't really do that over here.
Oh, far from it, actually.
Football don't really do it. It's a one and done. Would you like to see certain sports adapt that 7-game series, or do you think the one and done, the best team on the day should win it and call it a day? Where is the value in a 7-game series?
Well, the 7-game series in America is all about the money. More games, more tickets sold, more eyeballs on screens, more money rolling in.
Yep.
I do think there's value in the 7-game series when you get to a game 6, to a game 7, and then it becomes all or nothing. Like it comes down to this one game. And in a series, there's so many unbelievable moments. Like it can, we saw last year with the Stanley Cup final, which is being played at the moment. Florida Panthers go up 3-0.
Yep.
First to 4, obviously, best to 7. Edmonton Oilers then bring it back to 3-0, and no team's ever come back down from 3-0. They then go on to lose game 7, so Florida take it out 4-3, but throughout that 7 games, there's unbelievable moments for players, fans, everyone invested in the sport.
Yep.
So I think that's cool. Again, with the basketball, I think there's been so many unbelievable moments. The thing that you don't see it with in the American sports, you get it with baseball. It starts off with a best of 3 game series in the wild card round. And then your division series, it's a best of 5. Until you get to the World Series, it's best of 7. So it's a little bit more spread out. Baseball, basketball, ice hockey, you can do it with. They don't do it with American football.
Super Bowl.
And I think that is a reason why it wouldn't work for rugby, NRL. Soccer, yeah. You said a little bit with your home and
well, it's
away
all the
leagues.
contact sports, isn't it? But I mean, basketball's arguably contact. NHL's arguably contact.
It's the shorter, quick-paced turnaround games, right? You play...
Don't have 20 million timeouts.
You can play 4 games of basketball in a week. That's their schedule. They could play back-to-back. They could play 2 back-to-backs within the span of 6 days. So you're playing 4 games, whereas you try to play a back-to-back game of rugby.
Hell no.
You can't do that. Baseball, they'll play 2 games in the same day.
Yeah.
If in a 3-game series, day 1 gets washed out, they'll play 2 games on day 2. different starting pitcher, same hitters go again. Like, you're able to run it back. Say the Chiefs-Blues game on the weekend, how physical that was.
Yep.
20 points to 19.
Yep.
Say, all right, let's best of 3. Let's play another game on Tuesday night. Saturday into Tuesday.
Nah.
No way. I like it. I like the idea of it. I don't see how it can be integrated into New Zealand sports. Because you could do it. You could go Friday. But then that's 3 weeks for
best of 3
a
finals.
final.
No, you wouldn't do it for quali. It would have to be the final, if anything, I think. And you would have to do that over. If you say best of 3, it would have to be 3 weeks. You wouldn't do that for a quarterfinal. You wouldn't do it for a semi-final. It would only ever be the final, I reckon, is where you could implement it for.
Really? I think I'd disagree with that.
You would have it for each.
I wouldn't have it for the final. I'd have it for like a qualifying final and a semi-final. Say like how the football do it for Champions League.
I wouldn't have it at all.
No,
I'm trying to find a way that you could have something like it.
So you're saying one-off game, get to the final.
One-off game.
But if I
had to make an argument, it would be, best
one-off
of 3.
One-off game, get to the final, best of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. The football way of doing it is interesting because it's best of 2, but you've got home and away, and you've also got a decider. If it does need deciding after the end, you get to the end of 90 minutes of the second game. Rugby, you've kind of got it with the extra time and then golden point, but like,
It's
just not the same. I mean, a 3-game final series, nah, because I'm thinking back to that Rugby World Cup game, the final South Africa All Blacks. Imagine trying to play that over 3 games.
I don't think. I think also international is a different kettle of fish. You're just like, I don't see it ever being a feasible option at all. But I do think a best of 3 is reasonable for, let's say, the A-League.
Yeah.
You state of origins across 3 games.
Yeah. But how long does that take? There's 3 weeks between each game.
Well, yeah, that's because you're also still playing a regular season in and amongst that. It's not just that's the only games that are being played.
Yeah.
Because you could play that once a week.
Yeah. I do think, say, for the Super Rugby final, you might have a point. You might be starting to convince me a little bit. Say if it's a Chiefs Crusaders final.
Yep.
First game down at Christchurch. You're getting a game up in Hamilton regardless. You're selling tickets here. And then if it is 1-1, the final game would pop off. It would be cool. But again, are people going to be invested for a 3-week period to decide the winner of Super
Then why
Rugby?
are they invested for a 7-game period? I mean, think about that Portugal-Spain game that went to penalties. You wouldn't have that if it was a 7-game series.
No.
You wouldn't have... Imagine if a certain...
Unless it's tied at 90 minutes in the 7th game. Game 7, 90 minutes, tied, extra time.
Sure.
So there's one scenario where you'd get it.
Imagine, that certain basketball game where you're winning in the last 0.3 seconds.
Yeah.
That could have been it. That's history written.
Yeah.
That is the game of all time, basically. But now we've got to run it back 6 more times, potentially.
But then
I think it loses a bit of value. That could have been the game, the moment. But now it's like, we get like 5 other chances or whatever, 4 other chances at least.
If they do turn out and win it, the East team, then that will be the game, the moment. Say if they win
it should be. It should be.
But I don't think they're the best team in the US in the US. The other team is. And for them to lose, they lead the whole game.
That's why finals should be so incredible, because it should be the best team on the night that fit the occasion in the moment.
Yeah.
You could argue that Spain is the better side. They lost the final.
Yeah.
They lost the game. They lost in the moment. They lost the penalty shootouts. Everything about that is special. You go 2-2, you go extra time, no one can score. You then go to penalty shootouts. There's no, don't worry, we have like 4 other games at least to try and make it up.
Yeah. I guess, like, say we go back to the Stanley Cup. First game went to overtime. Unbelievable. Edmonton win 4-3 in overtime. The Florida Panthers have been the best team in the competition all year. do they deserve to not have the chance to then go out and win it because it's just based on this one game? Game 2, they then win it in overtime, 4-3 again.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. You can argue both ways. And I think for the sports it does happen in, it works. And it works, and there's a reason for it. For Super Bowl, they don't do it because you can't play a football game, a best of 3 football, American football. Well, you could, but no one, like, three weeks to decide it. Like, it's... No, you wouldn't do best of 7 for American football. Maybe if you're doing flag football. Like, say, for the Olympics. Say a gold medal match in the Olympics. No, but then you still want to be the moment.
Imagine Super Bowl being across 3 games. The whole thing just seems...
It would take the novelty out of the Super Bowl, I reckon, though. Yeah,
so you started the whole thing saying, like, oh, it's for money, yada, yada, yada. But now you're saying, oh, no, the best team in the league deserves an opportunity. I don't know if they do. If they were the best, they would win. Just straight... If you were the best team, you back yourself week in, week out, as you have throughout the league, you would win on the night when it matters most. If you got done in the last couple of seconds, unlucky, you got beat. If you lost in penalty shootouts, unlucky, you got beat.
Well, I guess like Auckland FC, for example, were the best team the whole season.
Yeah.
Finished well and truly at top of the league.
Lost in the semis. And they had 2 legs. You lost in the second leg.
But say if it's best out of 3... Maybe you see Auckland FC in the final.
Imagine it's best out of 1.
Well, then Auckland FC is still in the final.
There you go.
Because they won over in Melbourne.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I don't have a definitive answer for you. I'm tossing up. Oh, actually, back to the original question. Would I like to see it integrated for our sports? No.
Yeah.
Could it work? I'm sitting on the fence. I don't think it would work, but I could see how... like the benefits of it, but I don't think it would.
Okay.
Where do you sit on it?
No. One and done. You either show up or you don't.
Yeah, okay. That mindset.
As you have for all the other semi-final, quarterfinals.
Hear me out. So, World Test Championship starts tomorrow. Okay. South Africa versus Australia. Australia, the current champions, they've been the number 1 test side in the history of the game, really, right? But over the last 2-year cycle, South Africa have finished on top of the World Test Championship rankings.
Yep.
So, it's a one-off game. If it's a draw, South Africa lift the mace. Because they were the best team throughout the 2-year period.
Yeah, they're number 1 in the tournament, are they not?
Yeah.
Yep.
Australia's second. They have to win it outright.
Yep.
So it is a one-off game.
Yep.
But South Africa could just not actually play to win. If they don't play to win, would they deserve to be champions?
So the match results in a draw?
Yep.
Sure. But I don't think it's a realm of possibility where they don't play to win.
But they don't have to win to lift the mace.
Well, how likely is a draw realistically?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think they've got a reserve day as well in case of rain.
Yeah, so.
Or even if it needs a result. I don't know. So I think there's potentially 6 days. So a draw ain't likely, but you could say they've been the best team all year. Or imagine if they're the best team all year and you just get rolled for 30 in your first innings.
Unlucky.
Australia dominate.
Unlucky. Who fronts it up?
Yeah, okay. No, I like it.
Finals moment.
But yeah, that is, again, it's a one-off.
Imagine if you get rolled in the Super Bowl, which is what happened.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
I could see it in a cricket sense. I could see it happening for T20s. Say for like an IPL final series.
Yep.
It's a best of 7 game series. I could see that happening.
Yep.
And I think the IPL would love that actually, because then you're selling, if it goes to a game 7, you're selling 7 games worth of tickets to 1 billion fans.
Yeah.
You're making so much more cash.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's a place for it in some sports.
Situational.
I don't think it's for everything, and I don't think it's for us here. I also don't think New Zealanders would get behind it. I don't think Kiwis or Australians would get behind the concept of, say, a 5-7 game series to decide Super Rugby, NRL, AFL.
If it drags out, yeah.
Like, I think lots of them would have your mindset as in, we want this one moment to define it. One game, be all and end all. Yeah. All right, cool. So we'll move on. We'll park that. Thanks, Phil.
Nice.
I've called the group chat this week apology letter to Super Rugby.
Oh, jeez.
Now, that is because of, it'll explain itself, but
Okay.
the Super Rugby qualifying finals, and I still stand by it, is a terrible concept.
Okay.
But
Where does the apology come in then?
But I think how it played out is why Super Rugby deserves an apology, because it played out in the best case scenario for them. I don't think...
Interesting.
Anyway, I wrote a letter.
Okay.
I'll read it out. So, to Super Rugby, I owe you an apology. I'm certainly not the only one, and I don't think I was necessarily wrong for questioning the finals format. However, the lucky loser format, for how terrible it could have been, absolutely did not disappoint, and I'm glad it didn't disappoint. I'm happy to sit here and say I was wrong. So for that, to the decision makers, to the teams that brought life to the competition, and to Super Rugby as a whole, I didn't want to include us in this, so I'm sorry. Sorry for doubting, and I'm sorry for flaming it. I'm thankful for the Blues for the miraculous upset in Hamilton that brought magic to the qualifying finals, and I look forward to 2 massive semi-finals this weekend. P.S. Change the finals format next year so we don't have to go through this again. That is my letter to Super Rugby. It is my apology. It's not from the bottom of my heart, because I still stand by they should change it.
So what is the apology?
Because it worked out well for them.
For who?
For Super Rugby.
Why?
As a whole. Because if the Crusaders win and the Chiefs win, the Brumbies Hurricanes game is a dead rubber. It doesn't matter in that result. It works out well for them because the number 1 seed lost and they take the lucky loser spot. So there's drama with the Crusaders then taking the top spot, getting home advantage. Australia get a team through to Super Rugby, so you're still getting an Australian audience in. The Blues, with their comeback from sneaking into the top 6, they're knocking off the top team. And you still get the top team in the finals as well. I think it is probably the ultimate scenario for how, if they could draw up the qualifying finals with the 6 teams they had in their situations, I think this is exactly how they would have wanted it to work. So I apologize for my doubting of the qualifying finals format, but it worked out exactly, in my eyes, how I think they would have wanted it to.
So they wanted the Hurricanes to lose?
I reckon. You
Why?
keep the Australian fan base involved.
Okay.
And you wanted the Blues to win, because that creates a story of 6 beating 1, but the number 1 team's still in the competition and still gets home semi-final.
Mm-hmm.
And the Crusaders, the history behind them, never losing a playoff game down in Christchurch as well. And they potentially will get 2 playoff games down in Christchurch. Well, 3 in total, but another 2.
Yes.
Semi-final, final. So, yeah, I guess maybe if the script writers had it and knew it like this, fair play to them. I didn't like it. I didn't like the idea of it, but I think it worked out perfectly for Super Rugby as a competition. Your thoughts, please.
I don't know. I think it still sucks for the Chiefs and the Crusaders that they had to play. When you come first and second in a league, don't get the bye. Hurricanes probably also would have preferred to have versed the Reds, and the Brumbies would have had to have played the Blues.
Yeah.
There's a lot of narratives in the mix there still.
So that's changing the format to 1 and 2 get a bye straight semi-final.
If you're talking about the script writers wanting the Blues to be in there, then sure, they're 6 and 8 in the league. They won 5 of their games in the second half of the season. It's a storyline. It's getting the headlines. Blues promoting themselves very well.
Yep.
Maybe. Well, they are. They're getting eyes. They're getting eyes on the socials.
Well,
you can't deny that.
Any media or any coverage is good coverage, right?
Yeah. So, and obviously, yeah, they got that result. 1 point win in overtime, which is massive.
Yeah.
And to see what it means for their sort of team and their players, it's cool. It's an awesome narrative to have. So I understand that angle. And then obviously, yeah, Hurricanes, well, But also, I feel like Brumbies are just that good. Lolosio was good.
Well, it does help when you've got 16 men on the field.
Hurricanes. Well, I feel like Hurricanes shot themselves in the foot a little bit.
Oh,
to be honest.
they definitely did.
Yeah.
But carry on.
They're kind of their own sort of worst enemy at times, as they had been throughout the season. So Brumbies definitely deserve to be in that semi-final spot, especially considering that game and how it played out. Could go into detail. Don't have to. I don't want to slate the Canes. They had a great season. So
No. I do think they did make too many mistakes and were
some really bad calls, especially towards the end. The last 5 minutes, some serious question marks.
Yeah.
But
they got to, they got to play faster rugby. It was too slow at the ruck. Just not smart enough decision making at the end. But I mean,
I think they lost 6. They had like 16 turnovers, maybe.
Yeah,
they lost.
I mean, like
kicking the ball away. You've got 4 minutes left to play.
But what? 5 tries, plays 4 tries, all converted. It's a good game.
Yeah, it's a great game.
What's the rest name? Nick Berry, though? Is it Nick Berry? So the Brumbies can stop rolling mauls, but the Hurricanes can't.
Yeah, there were some interesting decisions.
I mean, yeah. But fair play to the Brumbies. Probably, you're right, the most consistent side week in, week out.
Yep.
And yeah, I guess wake me up when the Brumbies aren't the last Australian team standing, because how many years has it been like that?
Yeah.
So there's that result. Chiefs, Blues. How many tries were bombed in that game? 2.
Chiefs, Blues.
100%.
Well, Beauden Barrett sliding over the ball for like 50 metres, and then, what was it, Cortez dropping the ball over the line or couldn't regain it, whatever it was. So,
yeah.
Hell of a match, though. Super exciting.
It was a great game.
And, super chuff for the Blues to get that win.
Yeah. I tipped out, and I quoted on the post, the Chiefs will send the defending champs packing. So I tipped the Chiefs 13+, and I was pretty confident in that. I didn't think the Blues would show up. I felt like getting into the 6 was them kind of making their statement, but proven wrong. And 110 other people were happy to tell me I was proven wrong, because the comments on that post are wild. But I'm happy to say Crusaders 13+, and either team in the Brumbies Hurricanes game less than 7.5. I'll take that.
Very nice.
But yeah, it just annoys me that the Blues with a losing record are in the semi-final.
Yeah, I felt the same. But it's a good storyline. It's good for the competition, and obviously seeing how Cam sort of watches on from the hospital bed and how much that means to him. It just means there's a lot more to the game than actually the Chiefs getting that win, because they get that home semi-final anyway. So,
do you reckon there's a little bit of complacency about the Chiefs Saturday night?
Maybe. They obviously weren't cutthroat. They were happy to take the points. I think the majority of that game, it was conversion versus conversion. Complacency, as much as Blues had a good game, yeah, probably a bit of both. If you were to say that was a semi-final, Chiefs had a bye week, they'd probably play a lot more clinically.
Yeah, and you probably try and push for tries more than taking penalties.
You're not going to put your body on the line when you've got a semi-final coming up.
Yeah, regardless. Yeah.
So, I don't know.
And I guess Crusaders Reds, not a shock. Crusaders haven't lost a playoff game down there in God knows how long. They might be undefeated down there.
It was tight for a while, I thought. 12-0 up until what?
Yeah. I never felt like the Reds were really in it, though.
No, not until Crusaders had, a yellow card, and they've put some points on. But
yeah. So, yeah, the Reds were scoreless through 50 minutes or something, weren't they?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not surprised there.
All right, so I guess in semi-final, Crusaders into the Blues.
Yeah, should we pick the finalists?
Chiefs, Brumbies.
You go first.
Crusaders.
Crusaders,
Chiefs.
Crusaders, Chiefs. So you're going top 2 teams.
Yep.
I really want to do something different, though. But I don't see... I don't know. The Blues have proved me wrong once. I don't want to back them, but...
They have it in them.
They do.
I just think Crusaders at home, they're going to be pretty comfortable.
Are the Crusaders that team, though? I mean, we've known they've been that team for so long, but then last year put some doubt in your mind. Are they all the way back from last year? Are they that team again? Is there already a line set for the week? I wonder how tight the bookies have it.
Let me check.
I The Chiefs should beat the Brumbies, so I have the Chiefs being in the final.
So $1.40 to $2.70. And then the Chiefs $1.20. $4 for the Brumbies. 4 schmackers. 10.5 line.
Yeah, so I think the Chiefs make it through. Although the Chiefs have a habit of choking. They've not won a Super Rugby title since 2012.
They love that choker storyline, don't they?
They do.
On the socials.
I'm going to say Brumbies
Crusaders. Okay. Crusaders at home against the Blues 125-22, so that plus 5.5 is looking kind of nice.
Yeah, I think the Crusaders just edged the Blues in a tight one.
Yep.
And I think the Brumbies won't stray away from their game, as in scoring points, kicking for corners, line out drives. Their forwards are monsters, and we saw that against the Hurricanes. I reckon, depending on what the Chiefs bring
They have to
the
travel.
game. Yeah.
Did they have a tougher game?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Chiefs.
Did they have a tougher game? It was a pretty bruising game, that Blues-Chiefs game. I don't know. Honestly, both could be coin tosses in my eyes. I'm going to say Crusaders, Brumbies.
Okay. See how it is.
Yeah.
It is crazy, though. Chiefs beating the Blues twice in a season. Go on to lose by 1 point.
Could play them for, a fourth time in a final.
Could be Chiefs Blues in the final.
The Milliana.
Could be Brumbies Blues.
Milliana Cup.
Brumbies Blues, and it's over in Canberra. Oh,
It could be.
jeez. Oh, God.
And then no one here would watch. Apart from Auckland. Because what? It'll be 9:35.
Chiefs only played the Brumbies once.
Yeah. I think the Hurricanes only played the Brumbies once as well.
49-34. Massive score.
Yeah. Take the overs. Take the overs in Hamilton this week.
Brumbies have been scoring over 30 quite consistently.
They have been. Oh, that's what I mean. They don't. I think they're the team that has kicked the least penalty goals or attempted the least penalties this season.
Mm.
They might. Was it the game against the Hurricanes? They took a penalty, and it was the first penalty they've attempted, like kick a goal, they'd attempted all season. And it was like round 11 or something.
Really?
Something crazy like that. So they back themselves, they back their forwards to get over the line on line-out drives.
Yep.
And that's exactly what they did against the Hurricanes. I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen again against the Chiefs.
Mm.
All right, let's move on. Like it or love it or loathe it. I was going to go throw Foxy in there, but that's a no-brainer. So, firstly, we'll stick with Super Rugby. Blues sneaking into the top 6 with a losing record.
Mm.
And now they're in the semis. Do you like it or do you love it?
I like it. I like it. Nice storyline, bit of spice in the competition.
Mm.
Seeing what it meant to Cameron as well. It's always nice. And just a resurgence. You're winning, what, 5 of your 6 games in the second half of the season.
So they've now won
You beat
6
number 1
games in
seed.
total.
Regardless of how you say the format. Yeah, I think it's good. It's nice.
So you're very much in the camp of the moment decides who's the best team because they've quite clearly not been the best team all season
I mean,
long.
Blues lose, then you have that dead rubber, as you say. What would have happened? I loved that Brumbies Hurricanes game.
Yeah.
It was so good. I was shouting at the ref. It was amazing. If it's a dead rubber, do I watch it? Probably not.
No.
I'll be watching the the All Blacks.
The All Blacks
scored
versus
10 million
Argentina.
points on against whoever they played. I can't even remember. Titans.
Yeah.
Argentina, yeah.
Yeah.
So
you like
I like it.
I'm going to say I loathe it. I don't like it. I don't like what Rieki Iwane's doing. As much as I think there's a place for it, I just don't think it works in New Zealand. The talking shit online, the don't give us one, shouldn't have let me come back, all that sort of stuff.
Well, although I don't mind him clapping back to comments, but also
I think there's a line. I do think use it as fuel for you and your team.
I mean, look at James Schiller. All the death threats he's received.
Yeah, that is terrible.
And he's just calling them all out, posting all the messages he's getting. I love that. And now said people that found the accounts, those accounts are gone.
Yeah.
So I love that shit. You can't be doing that.
Well, no. Yeah, I mean...
But there's a line. I'm not saying that's what's happening in Rico's case, but he is getting a lot of chat about him. And then obviously because he's talking so much himself, he gets more. But it's all amplifying the game, the spectacle. So it is what it is.
I think it's just
take it at
just
face
the
value.
arrogance that doesn't really resonate with me in terms of New Zealand sporting culture.
Yeah.
Arrogance in New Zealand sport doesn't really go hand in hand.
That is interesting when it comes to the All Blacks as well,
Yeah.
and how he was talking to Johnny Sexton and all that sort of stuff. The vast majority of people, I think, kind of loved it. I was a bit confused what that whole thing was. Does that factor in All Blacks selection? It seems to factor in State of Origin selections. Certain players missing out that definitely deserve to be in there. It's an interesting one.
Okay, next one. The Wars beat
Love
the
it.
Sharks
Love it.
40 points to 10. It's being dubbed as one of the great Wars wins. You love it or you like it?
Yeah, 40-10. You kept the Sharks scoreless in the whole second half. 3 try-saving tackles. Big. Luke Metcalf could have scored. That would have been nice. But our defense set the platform, and we actually scored a hell of a lot of points in the second half, like we did against the Rabbitohs. But prior to that, we were struggling in the second half. We were completely relying on the defense. This time, the defense set the platform.
Yeah.
Dominated.
Yeah.
Massive score. One of the better games I've seen.
Yeah. No, I'm exactly in the
Sam
same
Healy.
camp as you.
Sam
Sam
Healy,
Healy,
good.
what a goat.
Quick ball player.
We've been banging on about Sam Healy.
Yep.
How good he is and how much of a player we think he is.
Yep.
I love it as well.
Yep.
One of the great Wars wins. I mean, I can't talk for early 2000s because, but in my time watching the Wars,
considering the
up
veterans that
there.
have left us, the big names that have left us, and you've got a really good half pairing at the moment. Harris Tavita probably had his best game as well.
What a tank. And being $3 underdogs, we drifted out to. So
the odds.
They weren't in our favour, and we beat them by 30, and everyone's been banging on about our winning margin.
Yep.
How we're a top 4 team, we've got a 4-point winning margin.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
love it.
now it's above 30 at least. So take that.
Yeah.
Next one. Mirab defends his title against Sean OMalley, bantamweight title. His first title defense since he defended it against. Oh, since he won it off Sean, eh?
No,
Win
it's
it?
a second. It's a
Second.
second. Yeah. He defended against Umar Nurmagomedov
That's right.
as well.
You like it or you love it? Or do you loathe it?
I like Sean, but I like the win more, I think. Mirab kind of showing that he is probably the greatest of all time for that bantamweight division.
Oh.
The cardio, the wrestling, the grappling, we all know that. But this time he actually tried to finish. He was striking Sean as well.
Yeah.
And then getting the submission in round 3.
Yeah.
He's showing that I don't think anyone's going to beat him at this rate. What is he now? 12 wins.
12 win streak.
12 wins. So I feel sorry for Sean. I thought it was too early for him. I thought he needed to fight someone else before coming back for another shot.
Yeah.
Just because that matchup is so tough, man.
Is he not going to be able to beat him?
But that's the thing. Who can beat Mirab at this point? So I like it for Mirab. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
What a performance.
Yeah, I think that's another one we agree on.
And it also wasn't, like Las Vegas Sphere. Sean was looking good too. So, and he had some he was slipping out, had some good takedown defense, but even when he escaped, didn't take long, got brought right back down. He had some good moments though, looked stronger, looked better.
He very nearly survived to the end of that third round.
20 seconds.
20 seconds to go, and that arm just slipped under the chin, and boy, it must have got tight. I was thinking, Sean, are you going to be able to hold on here, keep it out? You got 20 seconds to go, and then
too tight.
Nah.
It was like Kayla just almost snapping Juliana's arm off.
Yeah, that was an arm. Because she had she was going for a choke, and then Juliana slipped out of something, and then it got to an armbar.
Yeah.
Sort of vibe. Yeah.
It was like a chicken wing. That was just going to be snapped clean off.
And what, the ref saw it and called it? What did Juliana
No, Juliana tapped immediately.
Yeah. Well, that must hurt.
You could just feel your rotator cuff going.
Oh!
Yoy. Yeah, nice.
And then we're going to do a fourth one. You mentioned it earlier. Ronaldo, he wins his third trophy with Portugal, beating Spain in penalties, Nations League final. He also scored his first goal in a final for the country. You like it or you love it? I know what you're going to say.
I love it.
Yeah.
Also, how good was Nuno Mendes? Great goal, even better penalty almost.
Yeah.
So clinical. Ronaldo scoring the nice little volley tap in.
Yeah.
To tie it all up, and then I had Portugal to win in penalties at $12.
Oh, so you really love it?
I love it. I love it. Oh, it's good.
I like it. I think it being the Nations League and all. I mean, there is getting more meaning to the Nations League, which is cool to see. There's a bit more added to it. The players seem to look like they care more about it.
Yep.
I don't think it's at that tier yet where I can love it as a win. well done to Ronaldo, finally scoring in a final.
Good storyline with him and Yamal as well.
Yeah,
the young up-and-comer versus the veteran. Yeah.
Like Ronaldo said, he's going to win plenty of trophies. And with Spain, that's how good a team that is. And you've said that already.
Like a good side,
they're going to win some trophies. So
100%.
I like it and I like the Nations League as a whole. Like I said, it's getting more meaning to it, which is cool to see.
Well, the finals was very entertaining. Can't say I cared about the
none of the build up, but even like the semi-finals were
awesome.
Very good, very good. Okay, now I want to do this, but I don't want to do this. Our odds-on betting recap for the weekend.
Also, Rabbitohs 7-11 kit.
Oh yeah,
like it, love it, hate it.
Probably hate it.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Especially because it got pumped.
Although Reece Walsh debuting for the All Blacks and scoring 2 was pretty cool.
All Blacks kit is very nice. What is that? Mental health charity as well. Good stuff. Big Paps. 319th most cap rate of all time now.
Yeah.
Love it. At 10 points. Scored a conversion.
Yeah.
Ricky Stewart in tears. Those are honourable mentions. Anyway.
So what, they're all love it for you?
I love it.
Yeah.
Wow, not the Rabbitohs 7-11.
Oh, yeah.
That was horrible. Even the Broncos number, it looks very similar.
No, it actually looked like the All Blacks.
You look at it from a distance, like this, and they had some of them had the black cleats on as well.
Yeah,
the black blades. So I was like,
and then the Titans, like you could actually make an argument that was All Blacks versus Argentina.
No, Argentina would do a bit better, I think.
Yeah, true. Okay, 40-20 then, since we're talking about league.
Ezra Mann.
Yeah, talk to me.
Called up for Queensland. Kurt Capers called up for Queensland. I like one of those. Ezra Mann for Queensland? What do you think? DCE drops as well.
Yeah, I think DCE deserves the drop. So, and I think Ezra Mann. Yeah, well, Axum mid-series, and if you're going to bring someone in, Ezra Mann's a good shout.
Is he?
I like it.
With 3 games?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a bold call.
I
think it's one they probably need to make. Like, you're not going to, after the first game, you got to take some risk in this game too. So,
and Ezra Mann does like taking risks.
He does, doesn't he?
Matt Burton at 18 for the Bulldogs as well. The Bulldogs fans are going to hate that. You can try to run away from it, but he will always be around the 18th spot. Tyrell May still missing out. Unlucky use. All right. A recap of the odds.
Yep. 40
terrible. What was my picks, actually?
Well, I'll tell you mine while you find yours. I had the Brumbies Hurricanes, either team, less than 7.5. Check.
Okay.
Chiefs 13+. Not check. Go 1 for 2 for another week.
There were moments where it looked like they were going to get away with it.
There were plenty of moments where I thought, yeah, Chiefs 13+. This is a great call from me.
Yep.
No.
Whatever.
So, 1 for 2 for me.
Classic. Nice from you.
Yeah.
Titans. Well, Argentina. I wish it was Argentina. Warriors to win, though.
Yeah, it was good. Although you could have got it at $3.
Well, that's what happens when you're early.
Yeah.
And, Hurricanes to win. Yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
NRL 6 League, that didn't happen.
Oh, your locks and laughs.
The Sea Eagles were terrible.
Yeah.
Cowboys weren't too far off the mark. They had plus 15.5. Dragons were terrible. Dragons were abysmal. My God, the Dolphins put 50 on them, 56-6, I think.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff. Sydney Rabbitohs were in it, actually, plus 8.5. They were 12-0 up, and I was like, shit, I should have backed them just to win. But then no.
No, lucky you didn't. My lock and laughs, neither of them hit because I had the dog shit double, Knights and Eels both to score less than 10. Well, the Knights freaking won. Like you said, Manly were average. And the Eels scraped in 12.
Yep.
Not that it mattered, but Lockie Galvin scoring in that game for the Bulldogs.
Ladder challenge?
Ladder challenge. That was a big one. We talked about the Nations League and what the semi-finals were. France versus Spain. Now, we could have backed over 8.5. But we didn't. We backed both teams to score, which was great. Looked a bit iffy for a little bit at 4-0. Oh, boy. But, we turned $114.60 into $200 $2.50.
Could have gone again for the final if we were quick enough.
Yeah,
if
we
we wanted
could've.
to jump the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. That 2-all. Yeah, great stuff.
So that was good. We move again on Thursday for the ladder challenge. Our multiverse, where 50%, both our try scorers didn't hit. Kayla Harrison got the sub over
Unlucky.
Juliana
I reckon Metcalf up against his own club, that storyline was there. The stats were there too.
Yeah.
And he had a great game.
So you'd pick it again?
I would.
That's what you're telling me, yeah.
Yeah, I don't regret picking that.
Cody Taylor nearly scored twice, and then his replacement, George Bell, came on and did score. So that was nearly there as well.
Yeah. Kayla Harrison, submission, all points. God, he even could have just gone straight submission there, but you never know with how things are going to go. I think I had Kayla Harrison to win by submission in a previous fight and then won by decision.
Yeah.
Juliana Penna is respectable at the very least.
Yeah.
But my God, if that arm snapped.
Ew, that's gross.
Yeesh.
And
good stuff.
Carlos Alcaraz winning the French Open.
Good stuff.
Going down as maybe one of the greatest Grand Slam finals ever.
5 hours?
Yep, the longest final.
Jeez, man.
An unbelievable comeback from Alcaraz.
Test matches along.
Wowee. And also, what a nod to Rafa as well. As you've given him the plaque, you get another Spanish winning it. 5-setter. Djokovic not winning it. Also a nod to Rafa. And yeah, I mean,
also that
what was that stat you had?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
22 years, 1 month, and 3 days to have
5 Grand Slams.
5 Grand Slams.
Both Rafa and Carlos to the day.
To the day is disgusting.
That's pretty crazy. And then I guess there was another, the story, but I'm going to finish with my Eagle Farm fill-up. Because of what could have been.
Crazy, yeah.
Because of what could have been. So I got everyone that I knew to tune in to Trackside for 5:52 on a Saturday to watch Party Crasher, Race 9 Eagle Farm, Party Crasher to run top 3 for all the marbles to win 3.5K.
Come on.
But to get there, I had Sunrays to win, paying $2.80 to win race 1. Now, on my way to football, I told my team I'm going to sub off at halftime.
Yep.
I need to watch this race because it's the first leg. I got to see it through.
Really?
I totally forgot about it.
I need a cup of tea, lads.
And
Let me
at
sit
80
down.
minutes, I was like, shoo! I wonder if Sunrays won.
Yeah.
Went off, checked it, bang, in. Now, I got called in to play some rugby as well. So I was going to watch the rest of the meeting. 3:28, race 5, Coleman to place at $2.35.
Damn.
Second half of the rugby game just kicked off, so I wasn't able to watch that either. But it ran in. Jolie Star, race 7, to win at $2.30. Have you seen a race replay of that?
A race replay? No, not of the win.
My
it was good.
goodness.
Yeah.
Jolie Star won by half a nose here, I reckon.
Damn.
And left it very late.
Yeah.
Anyway, 3 legs down, 2 to go.
Come on.
Benagul, race 8. I was just about to get in the shower after rugby, and I remembered 5:13. Put it on. Needed a hole, got a hole. Benagul comes through, places 3rd.
Yes, please.
We're into race 9, Party Crasher for all the marbles, 3.5K. Late scratching.
Yeah.
I got everyone to tune in. And then I hear over the loudspeakers.
Guys, please.
There won't be any party crashing today, folks. Party Crash has just been scratched. Oh,
Right, crash your party, that's for sure. No.
crashed my party. Although I was saying earlier, I don't know how to feel about it. Because that was a void. I got the $807 for the 4 legs.
So you got paid out for the 4
Got
legs.
paid
Yeah,
out.
nice.
But it could have been what could have been.
And what could have not been as well.
Exactly. So I
You
didn't know
never
how
know.
to feel. So it was either 0, 800 or 3.5K.
Yeesh.
We worked out the cash out. It might have been at 1,100, maybe $1,000. What would have you done? I think seeing $1,000, I may have taken it. But then also it was $25 bonus cash.
No, man, I don't really know the odds for Party Crasher.
Party Crasher was paying $4 to place,
jeez.
but had drifted in. Was
Drifted
paying
in too.
$2.90 to place.
I'd ride it. If it's drifting in, you just ride it.
That's what I was thinking.
You're not going to
So,
cash out and then, place another bet on them. So
Anyway, don't back the 50-22s of the multiverse. Get on the Eagle Farm fill up because bread and butter is the thoroughbreds.
wow.
That's where we'll leave it.
Well, it's a happy ending, realistically.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you take that. And then I've...
Imagine you just get $25 bonus cash back instead.
oh, bro,
You'd
that'd
be
be
dark.
brutal.
You'd be dark.
I did put $100 on Lauderdale to win the Kiwi, paired with Kayu Rising to win the Everest.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got that live till March, hopefully to March.
I'll
Because
see you in a year then.
It's in October. But because we'll be at Champions Day, and I was thinking ahead to that. We'll likely be at Champions Day.
Mm.
And I was thinking, if I've got this on the line, and Waratahs running in the Kiwi, it's going to be a heck of a day. Anyway, that's where we'll park the bus, Phil. We'll be back on Thursday to run it all up for the weekend.
Indeed.
Till then.